very warm welcome to the Playbook, the show that delves into the lives of Namibia's most inspiring sports personalities. We get you closer to the personalities behind the headlines, offering a rare glimpse into the highs, the lows, and dreams of Namibia's sports icons. I am S01, and in this chapter of the Playbook, I am joined by Simata, Freddy, Mwiya. Yes, how are you doing?
Quite very much happy.
Okay.
A very good year,
Okay.
2025.
So, Mr. Simata, can you perhaps share your earliest memories of being involved in sports, either as a fan or as a participant, perhaps?
Thank you. You know, if you look at me, we are one of those who were born before independence.
Yes, yes.
So during that given time, you know, not quite a lot of opportunity were available, but we got some opportunity to do school sports at that given time. I may be very honest with you, I was a very good athlete. I was running 100 meters and 200 meters
Okay,
while
okay.
I was young.
Okay.
But I was forcing myself because I just liked to run 100
You
and
enjoyed
200.
it. Okay, okay.
But later on, I moved away from athletics. I started playing football.
Okay.
But in 1984, I was introduced to karate by my late cousin of mine. Yes, so he introduced me to the art of karate in 1984. So karate became one of my major sports, but I played football and athletics at the same time.
Oh, wow. Okay, quite interesting. It seems you do have a love for sports as a whole, perhaps. But maybe before we dive into your love for karate and the likes, what, perhaps inspired you to pursue a career in sports administration where you currently find yourself?
Yeah, you know, when I was studying at the university, because being at the university, I was one of a very active person. That was called academy by that time in 1991.
Yes.
Yeah, so when I finished at the university, you know, I actually started involving myself because at the university I was part and parcel of the SRC movement,
Okay.
student movement.
Okay.
So I was responsible also for sport affairs at the university, and also I was also responsible for accommodation. You know, when you lead there, you know, at the university level, already you could see that leadership qualities that you have.
Yes, yes,
already
yes,
you
yes.
tell yourself there's a need for me to go into sport industry. And later on, I also started serving at a club level, you know, within the federation that I was serving. And I also became part and parcel of the EXCO, you know, within the federation of a karate movement.
When we see you, we see sports, we see administration, but outside of sports, what are the things you really enjoy doing? What are the things that get Mr. Mwiya excited?
You know, I'm a church goer also, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, so obviously I also, you know, enjoy when I go to church. It's also one of the aspects that I also really enjoy. You know, at times also, you know, but I also enjoy doing business, you know. Also, it makes me happy, especially when you do business in the sense that you are able to serve the customer that you are serving.
Yes.
So that also makes me happy. I enjoy traveling. That's very, very important. You know, even though I could not go to many countries when I was too young,
Yes.
but at least, you know, just traveling around, especially visiting Zambia, because it was very close to my home village.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
it's not too far.
It's
Yes,
not too
yes.
far.
Okay.
Going to Botswana, Habroni, going to South Africa, Joburg. You know, I also enjoy driving at a young age. You know, because that time we had no cars. You know, when my father bought the first car, you know, it was 1982.
Yes.
It's a Nissan sedan. You know, we have to steal, you know, just to tell you, go and park. Then from there, I started enjoying cars. You know, even when I started working, I just told myself, within 3 months, I have to buy a car, and I bought my car.
So up until now, you enjoy driving a long road, just being behind the car.
I'm a very strong long driver. Yeah,
Okay.
I drive long distances,
Okay.
but, you know, I'm aging, you know.
Yeah.
But I may tell you, I enjoy driving.
Okay.
It's one of my hobby. I also just enjoy driving.
Yes.
You know, cycling was also one of the items that I could do.
Okay.
And also biking.
Biking,
so,
yes.
you know, I did all those type of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So earlier you mentioned karate, you know. Maybe tell us more about it, you know. How far really did you get into, you know, the pursuance of karate?
You know, karate was a sport in the then Caprivi region.
Yeah.
It was one of the major sports that took place in that given area. In 1984, I started doing karate in the villages with my cousin, the late, so rest in peace.
Yes.
Godfrey Musara Rikando, he's one of my, you know, my mentor, my cousin. Then from there in 1987, one of my senior, Joseph Sambi, took me up. Then I started doing karate at a very serious bench at the high school. And the moment I came to university, because for your information, I was the first black belt to be produced by the University of Namibia in 1994.
Wow.
And I became one of the first black men to represent Namibia in 1995 at the African Games in Zimbabwe. So I got a very rich history.
Yes.
When we opened the country club, the one that you call it now,
the
country club, my picture was also in the country club during the official opening of the country club, where I got my black belt. And that time I was also coming from Cape Town, because that's where I actually achieved my black belt in Cape Town. So obviously I've got a very rich history in terms of karate. But you know, at the university, apart from karate, I played also volleyball. The late Moses Kanjose, you know, we're playing together volleyball with him. So no, it's quite a lot. But karate was my major sport that I did at the university.
Indeed, a jack of all trades when it comes to sports. Sure. But that it's quite an interesting one where karate is concerned, because that is one we definitely didn't know. So maybe let's delve into, you know, your leadership, Mr. Mwiya. You find various leaders, but for you, how would you describe your type of leadership? Just using 3 words, perhaps.
Yeah, you know, if you look about leadership, there are 3 attributes that for me that I look at. One, you know, you need the brain, you know, you need the hand, and you need the heart. You need to have all the 3, because if you know, you need to be tactical, you know, utilizing your hand, but also your mind is very, very crucial. But also you need to know how to live with people. The heart plays a very major, important role. Sure. So when I studied leadership at the university, because very good part when I was doing my postgraduate in leadership, you study your own personality, what type of leader you are. And I was classified as an orange color leader, action-oriented, who want to achieve the dream, who want to achieve the set goals. So and obviously I could see it in me, that even currently now I'm one of those people that even my board, they know that when we want to achieve something, no matter there's no funds, no matter there's any obstacle, I tell myself this must be achieved, and I work around the clock to see that I come with alternative to achieve what I have to achieve. And when we are going to dwell in here, I'll be able to tell you quite a lot of challenges and how I made those challenges possible that we would achieve those challenges. I mean, those obstacles.
No, I'm glad that you started talking about challenges, because I was about to say that, you know, obviously leadership doesn't come without challenges. And perhaps just during your tenure, what would you describe, which would you describe as some of the hurdles you've had to overcome as, you know, being at the forefront of the administration?
You know, I will be very specifically in 2017 when I joined the Sports Commission. You know, people did not understand that the Sports Commission was a state-owned enterprise. Even the board that I find by that time, you know, because they were also new in the system, you know, governance is not everybody pay a piece of cake. Yeah, you know, what I did is I came there first, I looked at it, I said, you are not a department, you are a jurisdictional organization established by the Act of Parliament, and you have got what you need to do and the mandate that you need to do. So, because people, they thought it was a department within the Ministry of Sport, which is not the case. It is an organization created by the Act of Parliament. So now to change, to transform, it was not so easy. But that was the 1st of April, and I did the transformation by September. By September is when we realized we are a state-owned enterprise. Because from the beginning, people were arguing with me. But I said, whether you argue with me, because I'm one of those people that will use documents when I do argue. I just presented the documents, and lucky enough, we started building a very strong team. So, you know, that transformation process was not so easy, but by the end of the day, I'm happy that where we are today, people can say, yes, indeed, when you came, this organization was not well known. The function of this organization was not well known. But to stand, I decided, let's market this organization, let's inform the nation about what the mandate of the Sport Commission, because people, they thought the Ministry of Sport are responsible for programs in the country, which is not the case. Programs are run by the Sport Commission with their affiliates. The Ministry of Sport, they are there for policy-making purposes, creating a conducive environment for sport to prevail in the country, provide the resources. And those resources, they come from the Treasury. The resources that come from Treasury, they must be channeled to the Ministry of Sport, to the Sports Commission, to give to their affiliates by the end of the day. So that process, even today, many people, they still actually have got, struggle with it. That's what I'm advocating, and that's the campaign I'm still be able to do, because I would like the Sports Commission to become a good force, that our presence must be available across the whole country.
And it would definitely be, you know, good if such enlightenment can be provided on a more regular basis, so that those that aren't aware become aware and are able to educate those that are still not in the know of, you know, what the function of the commission and the ministry is. But, you know, like we were talking about there, obviously overcoming hurdles automatically speaks to achievements. What are perhaps, you know, or what is one of your proudest achievements since being at the Sports Commission?
In 2018, I remember we embarked upon regional visit for the first time, that at least we established regional structure of the Sport Commission. I'm very much proud that as we speak now, we have got volunteer regional structures of the Sports Commission across all 14 regions.
Wow.
And they were given a 3-term, and currently now we've got the second group that ended their term this year. So meaning the Sports Commission presence is available in all the regions, as much as those structures are not registered or structures that we pay. But these are volunteers that support our function. So I'm very much happy about that great achievement. In the same vein, I also would like to emphasize the Sports Commission, when we started doing our function, we started rotating much of our activities into various regions, like the Sport Award.
Yes.
You know, from 2018, we decided, come 2018, 2019, we take the Sport Award across various regions. We took it to Shakati. We took to Irongo twice. We took it as far as road race. That's one of the great achievements. In 2019, for the first time in the history of this country, we introduced what we call, not 2019, 2018, the National Youth Games. That was a big hurdle. When I came, I said, we are going to introduce the National Youth Game in this country. You know what I was told? We have tried this from 1995, did not happen. I said, yes, you have tried. Me, I don't try. We are going to do it. Believe me, it was not easy. I must be honestly appreciate Honorable Erastus Utoni. He said it is possible. I must appreciate Honorable Dr. Kantema Gamas. That time she was the ED. Within 4 days, last 4 days, there was no funding available. But I was so fortunate. I went as far as the Nampower. They came on board immediately. And lucky enough, also, 4 million was given to the Sports Commission to run those games. We managed to arrange those games for the first time. Imagine, end of the day now, we managed to now host the 3rd edition of the National Youth Game. And the National Youth Game, that is a product where we produced Christine Boma out of that product. It's where we also produce Beatrice Masilingi. They were the first group of the National Youth Game. And later on, we even took them as far as Botswana. So you can see, end of the day, we needed that sport development program to take place. Those were the big hurdles, but end of the day, we achieved. So quite a lot of achievement. We introduced also at the Sport Commission, the first ever, the Sport Expo, under Honorable Utoni again. I know it was also not easy. When the concept note was given, at my office, we took it upon, we derived a concept note. With the Honorable, we managed to hire people from outside to come and support us to run the first Sport Expo. It took place at Independence Stadium. It was opened by our current president of the country, Her Excellency Nangolo Mbumba. He's the one who opened that event. And now, this year, we hosted the 4th edition, and we are carrying on, because at least it provides opportunity. Those are quite achievements. The recent achievement, I must tell you, when I joined the Sport Commission had debts of 12 million in terms of Namibia. That is 2017, 12 million. They had a debt of 8 million to various service providers. There was no medical aid, it was suspended. Pension was suspended. It was chaotic. I took the office. That's why I want people to know. Sometimes people, when I talk today, they don't understand, and I want the general public to understand. Within 1 year, that 8 million debts, we created it. Because what happened is when we took over, I received the 21 million. I said we are going to survive on a 12 million. We use that other funding to create the debts at a given time. Now the aspect of the tax, tax, what happened is, now Namibia took over. It was a challenge, tax was accumulating. I remember in 2018, we had only a budget of 5.9 million. It was not easy to survive. So again, we could not pay tax, again it accumulated.
Onto the previous one.
Again. But we tried to pay a little bit. Believe me, should I tell you what happened? Last year, we are clear. We don't owe any $1 to Namibia. We paid our last 2.8 last year. We have cleared it. That's a big achievement. With little resources that we have. We depend on fiscals. We don't have quite a lot of business to do. But believe me now, what we are doing now is we are moving to the 3rd phase, where we want to start commercializing our activity, the Sports Commission.
No, Mr. Mwiya, you are indeed the orange leader that you say you are. I see you enjoy taking up challenging responsibilities, but indeed you do achieve what it is you set out to achieve. And maybe while we are there, how have you seen Namibia's sports landscape evolve during your tenure? from, from when you found it, to how it is currently?
You know, statistics don't cheat. We have seen what have happened currently now.
Yeah.
Look at the Paralympic team since 2017, what have happened.
Yes.
Look at able-bodied. Yes, unfortunately, last year at the Olympic Games, it was unfortunate, but the previous, term that we actually achieved with Christine Boma. And look what is happening with team sport.
Yes.
Cricket performing very well.
Yes.
Look what's happened with football. For the first time, they reached in the round of 16.
Yes.
Look what happened with hockey, and believe me, both male and female at the World Cup. We are now ranked number 12. Look what's happened with boxing. Yes, I know we had a challenge with boxing, current boxing, but at least there is a drastic move that's happening.
Yeah.
All in all, there's some sports that people they don't understand.
Yeah.
Like if you look about sports like shooting, we are ranked number 1 now. Last year we won the World Championship. That's why even the Sport Award, shooting team won the sport, team of the year. At the same time, an athlete from shooting won the Sportsman of the Year. Sure. So we hosted the World Championship for shooting. Lucky enough, I went there. I presided that event. It was in Uchivarongo. So you could see quite a lot of issues happening. I can proudly be able to say, I am satisfied where we are today.
Wow. You spoke about, the games that produced your Maselingis, the Mbomas, and of course we are still looking for the next, the Peter Shaluliles and all of these guys. So what are some of these strategies you have in place?
We are undertaking about the road to Los Angeles, our vision to Los Angeles and beyond, what must happen going forward. In the same vein, we want to take them through about our programs because they are the one to implement programs. We don't implement programs. So we are facilitating the way forward.
Yes.
So that's why we'll be having a full day engagement, both presidents and secretary general, but on separate venues. We'll just do the official opening. We are planning to invite the office of the minister or the deputy minister just to officially open the event. And then they are going to divide them into separate groups. They'll be trained what we expect them to do and what the other group is expected to do. So that we get, a vision that will look at what we need to do in sport going forward. Some of the aspects we're going to talk about is programs that every federation in terms of developmental program, how best they can be able to reach the masses outside there. The other aspect that we want to discuss with them is about their governance structures.
Yes.
Because obviously that has been an aspect. Governance does not only start on top. It starts at the grassroots level.
100%.
Are you having structures at the regional level? Because you can only be able to develop sport if you've got the better regional structures at the level. But most of the time, people they think I'm the president of the federation, I'm the most important person. You are not. The most important person is the last person there down there on the ground. So those are issues that we need to do. I think it's also a teaching. Lucky enough, I'm a scholar of corporate governance. I'm doing my PhD in corporate governance. It is also a lesson for people who serve as in bigger structures, being board members or being an executive member of a structure. You need to understand you are just a volunteer to serve that organization. You do it for the betterment of the athlete. The athlete 100%. Must become the most important person.
The priority.
That's why even myself, I value the athlete and I respect the athlete because I'm there because of the athlete.
Wow, I'm glad you mentioned that program because what we've seen ordinarily is, there's a mismatch, in terms of the mandate, the mandate gets lost somewhere there, but it's good that we are bringing all sports codes together, communicating the mandate in conjunction with the vision. So that brings unity in working towards that particular vision. But while we are there, what do you think Namibians can do, Mr. Mwiya, to better support athletes in achieving international success?
There's no secret, I can assure you. Our athletes, they are really suffering economically. Because they sacrifice quite a lot, but we don't provide the required resources for this athlete to achieve what they have to achieve. I'll cite a very good example. Like currently now, there's one athlete who is traveling, it's a wrestling lady. I think they are sending the lady now for training camp because we are preparing that lady for 2028. When I was with the Federation's Wrestling Federation, yes, I struggled. The finance is very less. But this morning, I took a decision immediately. I said, we need to provide some resources. I even told the team, the colleagues that are going to represent me there today, I just took a decision. I said, this amount of money will be given without consulting. That's what we call leadership. Take a decisive immediately and say, for the betterment of the athletes.
Is that perhaps Esther Abraham you're referring to?
Yes. I decided this morning, when I just decided, I said, yes, there is a need for us. Then they are going to announce to say the Sport Commission, this amount of money will be given, just even for the upkeep of that athlete. Those are the challenges our athletes they undergo. Many athletes, they go for international games where they must pay from their own parents' pockets. I mean, then I always call those teams, that's not a team. That is an affordability team. And we need to move away from affordability team.
100%.
Yes, because we need a team based on merit. Yes, I know the fiscals we cannot allow. The resources is very less, but that's where we need people to support us. We have got rich companies in this country. I think we need to change our policies. Tax rebates.
100%.
That's what I call upon my colleagues from the Ministry of Sport, because they are policymakers, and we are going to handle together with them that at least we need to work on the aspect of tax rebates so that companies can come on board, especially with the new act or the new bill that will be presented. When they'll bring it to us, that's what we are going to push at. So that at least this company that invests in sport, what do we do to these companies? I believe me, the sport fund will be full of money by that time. And then our athletes can prosper in sport.
And Mr. Mwiya, I'm so happy you are talking about, resources, because one of the biggest concerns when it comes to the fans, it's about how we allocate these funds. So maybe I wanted to ask you, how do you address the concerns of which funds should be allocated where and to which sports codes?
If you look in 2018, Cabinet, approved the categorization of the sports codes. I may say that's one of my achievements.
Yes.
So sports code now are categorized according to priority area. We have got national sports codes, being football, netball, and rugby.
Okay.
Priority sports codes, also where we've got athletics, you name them.
Yes.
And we've got developmental sports codes. And as it stands now, we also promoted priority like cricket because of their achievement. Hockey, they've been going up. Or volleyball, they've been going up. So what happens now is in which category find themselves. When we request funding from the state or from Treasury, the ministry, when they allocate, we allocate in terms of that given areas. However, at the same time, again, it also depends on the merit of the championship, because we ensure that you start on the ground, the more you go up, there is funding given to you. We don't want to see children going in the street with papers begging for money.
Yes.
For any sport code, approach us. Unless we cannot get that money, then that's another issue. That's what we also want to come and tell the Secretary General to say, but the competition in which you go, it must be competition based on merit. Not just to say we want to take the whole team for holiday. So at least then we can actually.
I'm glad. Yes. So, Mr. Mwiya, how do you then manage perhaps public expectation, especially when it comes to Namibia's international sports performance?
Public perception, we've got a lot of parliamentarians on social media.
Yes.
If you just follow social media every time, you know what to do. You even not be able to work in Namibia, you'll be afraid. Because they talk, when everything goes positive, it's positive news. Any small mistake, what happens? Not a mistake, team failure, that's what happens. But also at the same time, we need to understand they are monitoring us, that we must be able to perform. So it's good that we got the public, perception, they come with these messages and they send it about the good parties. Most Namibians, I can tell you, they've seen what the positive impact that sport is bringing. As much as we got the negative comments, if you look vis-a-vis, you'll be able to see more positive comments. I'm happy about NBC. Where you normally actually news time, you give out those comments.
The comments there.
And those comments I've seen, they're all positive comments.
The positive ones.
So the negative, you normally put them in
that's right, So, Mr. Freddy, with that said, what advice would you perhaps give to a young sports enthusiast who would like to, make a difference one day in sports administration or in sports commissioning and all of that?
Sport, it is a $1 billion industry. And I call upon young people. Sport, you can venture in various ways. It's not only that you need to become an athlete. If you are not an athlete, you can go in sport administration. If you are not in sport administration, you've got other field of sport that you can do. Biokinetics, quite a lot of medical,
100%.
You name it. So it is an industry that we would like to encourage youngsters to get into this industry. I know if you're an athlete, the lifespan is much shorter. Yes, but you need to make your money and also do investment where possible.
100%.
But there's still opportunity for you to venture in various ways. You can go into merchandise also in sport. So it is an industry like another industry. Yes, I always tell parents, you need to have 3 things that you must give to every child. The religion,
Yeah.
yes, is very important, number one.
100%.
You take the child to school.
Yeah.
But if the child does not have sport,
Yeah.
oh, my brother, without sport, you need to have the religion, education. Sport will now supplement to help the two for you to go far.
100%.
And I'm so happy now, you see academies, parents are there, they are supporting their children. That's the only way you can instill discipline in your children, because they will be committed.
Yeah.
There's a program that they need to follow. They will never go to this country, I mean to the countryside where they're drinking alcohol, involving drugs and others,
Yes, yes.
because sport maintains and helps them to be disciplined. So that's why I said, let's keep up that way.
No, I'm glad you said that, that the industry is quite broad and the opportunities are plentiful that can be pursued. That was Freddy Mwiya sharing his insights and visions with us. That's it for today's episode of The Playbook. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories behind the sport. Until next time, it's goodbye.